Hi. Okay, so I haven't been doing Raw reviews, and that's because haven't had the chance to watch Raw as of late. I've been preoccupied with a bunch of other things going on in my life, and I just don't have 3 hours to actually dedicate myself to watch Raw. I've been going along with like maybe two, maybe an hour and a half, and that's pretty much all I can give on a certain night. And even if I recorded it, it's hard to watch. Anyway, that being said, I did watch last night's, but I'm gonna do an kind of unorthodox review of that, and basically I'm gonna do what I like and what I didn't like. I'm not gonna go through the entire show, because odds are if you're watching this, you watched it as well, and there's no need for me to recap everything. Okay, so basically I want to hit some high points, some low points, and give my thoughts and opinions on them. One of my biggest low points of the night is the women, and I've been vocal about this on Twitter. Well, but as vocal as a 23-year-old on Twitter can be, because I'm not on there that much. But yeah, I don't understand the lack of women's matches, the lack of time that the women are getting. Look, I get it. Charlotte's a champion. That's the storyline. You can already tell they're showing some dissension between her and Dana Brooke, which I'm not a fan of. I don't know Dana Brooke. This is too early to be showing any kind of wedge between them. I don't know why they're going this route so quickly. I feel like this should manifest for maybe about a year until something actually happens. But it's clear that they don't know how to write women. I mean, how many is on the roster? There's more than four. I guarantee it. There's more than four. So why are we getting the same four each week? Which, trust me, is not a bad thing that we're getting Natalia, we're getting Charlotte, we're getting Becky Lynch, and we're getting Dana Brooke. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with getting these women. I'm okay with a tag match. Give me more. Give me more. We do not need the same old Darren Young promo on the commercial. We don't need that. Instead, give me a backstage segment with Sasha Banks. Yeah, she doesn't need to wrestle, but she can talk. Let her go talk. Let her do something. Let her be backstage begging Shane or Stephanie for a match and them not clearing her. Make it believable that there's more than four women on the roster. Thank everything that Paige was on last night. Where's Paige been? Where's Sasha been? Where Summer Rae's a thing. She's on the main roster. Where is she at? I don't necessarily like Summer Rae, but it's the fact that you have more than four women. Take advantage of that and write more storylines for them, because it's really annoying when you have a Divas / Women's Revolution that led all the way up to WrestleMania, and then after WrestleMania literally tailed off, and we haven't seen anything since. And that is highly disappointing as a fan when you saw Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks right there on the poster for WrestleMania, right in the middle. Like, that was a huge statement to make. And ever since then, it's just been, it's not okay. Like, that's not okay. And we shouldn't stand for that, because I do want to see the women wrestle. Do I like all of them? No. Do I like all the men's competitors? No. But I do want to see them wrestle. I want to see what they have. I want to see the charisma. I want to see more women in WWE, because that is something unique that I haven't been treated to since I've started watching, because they've been treated as side arm candy half the time. I'm very intrigued and interested in how they can portray women going forward with the mantra that they started to use last year. So that's one of my lowest points, was the amount of time that the women were given and the match that would happen. The match was fine. Wish it would have went on for longer. I completely wish that would have happened. And I'm glad they did a backstage segment, but I just want more. I want more substance from that division, because it's really lacking. Whereas an Up is a tag team division. This thing is just crazy. I mean, you got the New Day. You've got Gallows and Anderson, which, yeah, we still don't know a lot about. And you pretty much have to know about New Japan to know anything about them, unless you know the Festus character, which please forgive me for mentioning. Please. Wrestling gods, forgive me. JBL. You're not a wrestling god, just forgive me. Anyway, yeah, you have them. You have the Vaudevillains, who are fantastic, and you have Enzo and Cass, who are just equally fantastic, but the Vaudevillains are just not as over. The tag team division's solid right now, and I think if we split them up in the draft, you're going to kind of see it's not as solid as it is. But with these four groups, these four different competitors, teams of competitors, you're really getting greatness combined. And I think this is First time in years we've had 4 legitimate teams. And I mean, hell, if the Dudleys actually, if they wrote them correctly, they could be that 5th team. If the Lucha Dragons were still written correctly, maybe if Sin Cara didn't get hurt, we could have 6 teams that are legitimate contenders at any given time for the championships and to run with the belts on another show if we did bring a different set of tag team belts back. Yeah, so that's exciting, and that's one of the ups. A down for me from last night, as I'm going to go back and forth between ups and downs. Another down would have to be the mixing of the Money in the Bank ladder match participants again. We got Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose again. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I get it. I get it. You got to build the matchup. But when we've been seeing these same rivalries for months now, and don't give me the, well, I got to build it up for Money in the Bank. No, there's a multitude of different ways. And last week was a clear indication of how they could do that with them all being on ladders, giving promos like that, doing certain things like that. That's fine. But when you have Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose feuding since practically the night after WrestleMania or a couple of days after WrestleMania and going on for months now, I don't want to see that. I'm over that match. If that's the main event, I don't want to see it. I don't care what you can do to bring me into that. I don't want to see that match anymore. And I get it. They're going to have a great match. It's going to be fantastic. And guess what? There's going to be a brawl. I didn't even finish the rest of the show last night because I knew what was going to happen. They're going to brawl. I don't care. I don't want to see anymore. My mindset now is let's just get through Money in the Bank already. I'm ready to get this over with. I'm just over this whole situation. Yes, it is one of the biggest competitive Money in the Banks because there are a multitude of different ways it can go. Whereas the past couple of years, it's kind of been, you've kind of seen where it was going, but you kind of knew. This year, you really don't know because last night kind of pinpointed, Dean Ambrose is probably the favorite. But at any given moment, you can have Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro's looking for that brass ring. Who knows if he might have gotten it backstage. If they wanted to swerve everybody, they could. And that's a definite maybe possibility. Who knows? But yeah, that's one of the downs is just the mixed matching of this match, seeing tag matches. Because again, on SmackDown, we're getting a tag match between the 3 of them. 3-on-3 between the 6 of them. Sorry. So we're getting another tag match. I don't care. That's not going to make me want to tune into SmackDown at all. I would rather be seeing qualifying matches for like draft picks for the draft. I'd rather be seeing that on SmackDown than another 3-on-3 tag match between the Money in the Bank participants. It's just getting old really quick, like this ramble. So let's move on to a up. The promo work of last night was fantastic, besides the Darren Young segment, because I'm over that. John Cena and AJ Styles was on another level, another plane, if you will. These two guys are bringing the best out of each other. And I'm kind of scared because when John Cena was giving his promo, he talks with such conviction. I want him to hold back. I really do. I feel like that storyline's being pushed a little too fast, a little too hard. And I wish they would kind of wait just a little bit and make this stretch out over the course of a few months rather than, just bring it to a screeching halt right here. But I think they will do that. I think they'll end up doing that. I think it will be a longer feud than a month. I just feel like they're throwing everything at it right now. I would have liked to seen AJ go ahead last night and do the 3-on-1 match or the 1-on-1 but with the club in the corner match. I feel like that's going to happen anyway because AJ is heel. Why are they still tempting him with the whole light dark side thing? I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, the way John Cena's talking scared the living shit out of me because it does kind of seem like it's the same thing over again. I think AJ's going to win, though, and he's going to pull it out. Y'all are nasty. He's going to pull it out, and he's going to win this match. The other one is Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns looked very comfortable on the mic last night. And, you can boo all you want, and I'll be the first one to do it as well because I'm sick of Roman Reigns. I'm sick of the same shtick. I'm sick of the same character. There's no evolution in the character. There's no moving of the storylines within the character. But this really showed something because he did look comfortable in the mic. And I don't know if it's because of the comfortability of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins and them all being in the ring together, even though it's almost been 2 years since that happened. But I think he's very comfortable with these two guys in there because he was around them for so long, because they've been friends for probably about 5 years now. And they've had to work together for around 4 or 5 years. So I think that has something to do with it. Seth Rollins looks like $1,000,000. I think he'll always look $1,000,000. I'm really waiting for that double turn to happen, and I feel like it's a mistake to have Seth Rollins heel right now. I feel like the one to be heel is Dean Ambrose. And I feel like he's the odds-on favorite after last night, after saying, or I get Money in the Bank and I cash in the same night, which is exactly what I thought he was going to say, which is exactly what I thought he needed to say, and I'm glad he did because that was the biggest pop of the night. So that was great. Other promo work that happened was with the New Day, Vaudevillains, Enzo Cass, and Gallows and Anderson. Enzo and Cass. That was the most odd opening segment I think I've ever seen on Raw. It was the most odd TV I've ever seen, unless I don't even know, because that was just insanely weird and crazy, but it worked. The conviction between Enzo and Xavier Woods was great. The chemistry that they have is great. I didn't even know they were the same height, but that's fantastic. It's great. And talking about Francesca #2 or Frankie or whatever, and Enzo having her last night or the night before or whatever, that was great. It was great. It was funny. It was what I think they needed to start the show off with. Kind of loosen everybody up, and that's what they needed. But yeah, the promo work was a great up. It was a very good night for people to talk. And of course, I'm going to even say the matches were great. That was a high point too, was all the matches. I don't think, even the Sheamus, Zack Ryder one was okay, just because I guess if you want to tell that story for Apollo Crews, that's fine. I would have rather had seen Apollo Crews, and this again goes to maybe a down. I would have rather seen Apollo Crews attack Sheamus in the back, and let's use that time to allow the women to actually have a longer match. Maybe not even a longer match, maybe just another match. I just feel like that was a waste of time, and it could have been done backstage, and it could have had just the same effect. But Apollo Crews has some personality. We're finally seeing that, so that's an up as well. We're finally seeing some personality, some actual intensity, which is I don't want to see the guy come out there and be all smiles and ha ha ha, and that's great, because his music is kind of up cheery, and it kind of didn't match him running out there being all pissed off and stuff. But yeah, I would rather have him come out there with no music. But yeah, it worked. That worked. I would have wished it would have happened backstage, but for what it was fine. Yeah, other than that, I really don't think the other up I could say is that the building towards Money in the Bank. Now, they're saying that this is probably the best card in Money in the Bank history, and I can't argue that. Other than John Cena, CM Punk, which, other than that on that card, I don't really remember any other match. That might have been... Yeah, because I think Randy Orton. No, maybe not Orton. I don't remember who won Money in the Bank that year. But that match was probably the best of that year. And now this card is probably the best Money in the Bank card of all time. Because you have some great matches. You have the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match between 4 fantastic teams who work very well with each other, either one-on-one or all together. You have AJ Styles versus John Cena. Who would have ever thought we would have gotten this match? Who cares if they're faces? Who cares if they're heels? Let them go. Let them go for 15, 20 minutes. That's jaw-dropping. And I feel like that's going to be the match of the night, because when John Cena has the lights on him, he pulls out a great match every single time. You have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Fantastic. It's the match that we wanted to see, because before Seth Rollins got hurt, rumors were he was going to drop the title to Roman Reigns. So does he pick up the title, or does what I think is going to happen? And Ambrose wins the Money in the Bank, cashes in the same night. I think that could happen. I think that would be the biggest Money in the Bank card in history, because you get a Shield triple threat match. You get the taste of a Shield triple threat match, which ultimately, going down the line towards SummerSlam, you would get with Ambrose as champion. And I feel like they should do that because Ambrose is arguably the biggest babyface on the roster that's supposed to be a babyface. I feel like that might change with Roman going after it, but whatever. We'll get to that in another video. But yeah, Money in the Bank, the way they're setting this up, the way they're marketing it, it feels like a WrestleMania. And it has that aura around it where I'm excited. I think I'm more excited about this and the unpredictability than WrestleMania. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy Raw last night? I sure as hell did. I got a kick out of it, except for maybe the last match, the last couple minutes. Let me know what you guys think below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I really do appreciate it and all the support you've been giving me. It means a shit ton, more than you'll ever know. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.